Welcome to the North Hudson Public Works Committee virtual meeting of Tuesday, May 19, 2020 at 5:30 p.m. Call to order, roll call, please.
Pike?
Here.
Trustee Head?
Here.
Trustee Max?
Present.
Item number 2, approve the minutes from April 21, 2020 Public Works meeting. Need a motion.
The minutes from the 2020 April 21 Public Works meeting.
I second.
All right, any discussion, comments? Look good to me. All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. All right, item number 3, comments from the floor. Nobody else is in here. Item number 4, Hafner Properties utility easement discussion only. Patrick and Kevin, if needed.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess as far as that is, we're kind of moving along a little bit. Kevin and I met with the Hafners and maintenance personnel and whatnot last week, so we have kind of a direction.
Patrick,
we're heading in. Yeah.
There might be some people that don't recognize Hafner Properties, so you might want to explain where that is.
It's at the Malibu Apartments and the Willow River apartment buildings on the south end of North Hudson, on the west side of 35, right by the Malibu Inn bar.
Okay. Kind of
so, yeah. So, yeah, I think progress. We're making progress. There's some things that we're trying to iron out and locate a few things. I'd gone out there and traced water lines and stuff like that because they wanted to know where that type of thing was and stuff. So, I guess unless you have anything to add, Kevin, that's basically all I would. Just kind of an update, I guess, that we are still in contact with them.
Nothing from you, Kevin?
No, I think, yeah, Patrick has defined everything, kind of where we're at this point.
So is this a situation, this would be something that we would budget for next year, I'm assuming?
What are we budgeting for?
I don't know. What's the cost for us to make this happen? Oh, this is just the easement itself?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not the work?
No.
Okay, well, can you high level explain basically what the work might entail? Or is it too early?
Yeah, let's not get into that. I mean, if you want me to, basically, yeah, there's 75 feet down there that someday should be looped of water line, and it should be looped, and that would definitely improve things in the water system.
Okay. Any questions?
Should be discussed later.
Bill, Lori, any questions?
Not at this time, so we're closer to doing it.
Okay. That brings us to item 5, Artisan North Subdivision. Outstanding items, discussion only. Kevin, Patrick.
All right, I guess I can probably tackle that one. So I think everybody's aware that Mark Erickson is kind of out of the picture now. It's been turned over to Gary Zappa, who's actually the new owner of the property that's outstanding down there. So he's working on getting all the outstanding items that are still that need to be submitted to the village. That would include as-built drawings. There's 2 sets of those. And then there's some lien waivers and affidavits that we're still waiting for. I did talk to Gary here a couple times in the last week, and it sounds like the as-builts themselves will be coming from Roger Humphrey in about a week. So those are in the works. And then once we do have the final lien waivers, then I think we're at a point where we can accept the roadway itself and get that in front of the village board for approval or final, actually taking the road on as a public right of way. So we're still a little bit of a holding pattern, but I think we're getting very close to actually getting everything in order to have the village take those improvements over.
So there's a change in ownership, you're telling me?
Yeah, so actually Gary Zappa is now the new owner down there.
What the other guy do? I mean, so basically one guy sold to the other guy, is that what you're saying, or?
Well, there was, some outstanding payment that needed to be made, and kind of was, a transaction between the two of them, and ultimately Gary's going to end up with the whole development.
Wow,
No,
that's a big change.
Yeah, the remaining lots that are down there, he's the owner.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So as far as you're concerned, things are moving along. Melissa's aware?
Yeah, she's aware of what's transpiring, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And we have no concerns from Melissa?
Nope, she's aware that, yeah, Gary is going to kind of see everything to a close now.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, great. Great. Any questions on this one, Phil or Lori? No?
Nothing.
All right. Item number 6, fencing at Public Works Garage, discussion only.
I have not got anybody to come over here yet just because of what's all going on. So the only bid I have is the one that I had shown you guys at the last meeting for 4,800 or whatever the heck it was. So I guess I'll just kind of keep that on the agenda and hopefully somebody will show up.
Okay.
We can get a few more bids. So
It's not a rush anyway, because we don't. Was it August, Patrick?
August. Yep.
Okay. And you said Gary's already moving stuff and.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Any questions for him about the fencing?
Nope.
Okay. This is one, obviously, we haven't even run this by the village board yet, so we need to hash out, do we want to do this? Why do we want to do this? Once we got some quotes, and then if we agree we want to do it, then we take it to the board. Okay. All right. Item number 7, crosswalk at Michelson / 6th Street North, discussion only.
This one's for Phil.
Phil?
I did some investigating on the crosswalk, Phil, and it sounds like I can possibly move it or redirect it, and then it also sounds like when we do the Highway 35 project, I can put a ramp in there on that side so it will be a legitimate crosswalk.
Nice.
Yeah. So nothing I'm going to do like right now, but I will work on at least trying to get that moved a little bit so you don't walk right into a pole and it's kind of like swallowing disinfectant. I mean, you shouldn't walk into the pole,
but and you wouldn't think people would be looking down at their phone and walking across a crosswalk, but you never know.
Yeah, people do.
There's a lot of walkers that will really appreciate that.
Okay. All right. Well, I wanted to bring that up to let you know that I am working on it. So
we'll
get that squared away.
I'm curious. Who's responsible for painting the stripes on 35?
We are.
Okay. Curious.
What's that?
I was just curious. Thank you.
Yep. And we'll be starting on that real soon.
Okay.
All right. Any further discussion on that? Okay. Item number 8 is chair update. We have, as everybody knows, we've got several more of our businesses are up and running. And right at the moment, it would appear that Minnesota's very grateful because half the people in our restaurants are at least half are Minnesota fans coming over to say thank you for opening. if you saw any of the city council meeting last night, and I highly recommend you watch some of that, it caused Hudson quite a bit of problems down there with the crowd coming in from Minnesota, and I guess it was a little bit expected, but with only 2 of our bars downtown opening at the time, they kind of got a little overloaded, and then the overflow was coming up here to North Hudson, and so it's good to see people out and excited to be out, but we've got Memorial Day weekend coming, so hope everybody will consider that and stay safe and enjoy. Anyone know what the weather's supposed to be like? Going to be is it good?
It's supposed to be nice.
All right, great.
It'll be
So,
nice.
yeah, I hope everybody stays safe, and keep in mind that we have a lot of visitors coming from Minnesota over here for this holiday weekend. The other thing I wanted to mention was I had a short discussion with Nate, our cable guy who's doing these things, about whether or not we're getting ready to go back into the village hall, and I have no word from Melissa yet about going back into the village hall. So as far as I'm concerned, we're probably going to stay virtual until she tells us she needs us to go back into the hall.
Okay.
Okay. All right, and item number 9, engineer report.
Great. So 2 things. On one, in regards to the Highway 35 project, we did get something back from the design consultant on the sidewalks. If you remember, as part of the base bid, they were looking at just doing spot repairs on the sewer and water laterals, which is going to entail just doing spot repairs on the sidewalk. We had asked that they consider doing an alternate bid for having everything replaced. We did get notification from the design consultant that fortunately they're not going to be able to do an alternate bid for this whole sidewalk. That would have to be something that we would, have to negotiate a price with, once they truly know who they're going to be working with as part of the, the contractor itself, which won't be until, beginning of next year when they actually let the project out.
So you're saying we would go to whoever gets that portion of the project that's doing the patchwork on the sidewalks to ask them how much to just do the whole thing, okay.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Just kind of a change from what was originally, being discussed early on. Patrick had seen the email. So it's not only in the village of North Hudson, but it's also in the city of Hudson also. So we'll just have to, once we know who the contractor is, then we'll have to reach out and see what that cost would end up being, if you want to explore that option.
So there's a possibility that Hudson might want full sidewalks instead of patchwork as well?
Correct.
Okay, and it would be the same contractor basically?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So,
all right, well, cross that when we get to it.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. And then the other thing is Derrick subdivision. Patrick and I were up there last week, did a roll test on the gravel, made sure that there was no soft spots, and they ended up putting the first layer of asphalt down last week. So
nice.
Yeah, the curb gutter's in, first lift. There's a tremendous amount of buildings going on up there. I would have to say probably half of them looks like under construction.
Yeah.
Oh, Lori's getting new neighbors, huh? Faster than you thought.
But things are moving along very fast up there.
Okay.
So that's
anything else?
That's all I have.
On the 35 project, Kevin, I got asked a question I couldn't quite answer. It had to do with, I think in the plan there's a bike trail coming down 35, right?
The bike trail itself is going to be on the edge of the pavement. There's not like a designated multi-use asphalted trail. It's just going to be right on the road itself.
like Vine Street is over in Hudson?
Yeah, it's just going to be like a designated lane on each side of the roadway,
Oh, really? On both sides?
both sides.
So how wide is that bike lane? Because there's not a lot of room there, brother.
No, there isn't. You know, I
I-
have to look to see what they're proposing. If I had to venture, it's probably 4, 5, 6 feet wide. You know, you guys don't have any parking up into this particular area, so you know that opens up the option they have for the bicycles.
Are they widening the street at all to accommodate this? No?
It's going to be all in the same footprint of what you have out here right now for the same width.
So you're saying the shoulder then becomes a bike lane essentially?
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
That seems almost impossible.
Yeah, I can't see taking
No.
3-4 feet. That's 8 feet of what? How wide is that road right there?
Between Wisconsin and Monroe.
Yeah, it's about 34 feet wide from face of curb to face of curb. So
I'm assuming there's safety standards for that, correct,
Gotta
Kevin?
be.
yes, yep.
So
And I
it would have to meet those, clearly. Okay.
I'd have to
Huh.
go back into the plans and see what they have, you know, kind of designated for what the widths are. I know they were working on last week 90% plans submittal, so they're definitely far along or getting close to the end to meet that, you know, PS&E final due date, and then the letting still set up for January of, you know, next year. So. But yeah, I can take a look at it and get back to you what that width is.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'd be curious what the safety standard is, just so I can envision it better.
Sure. I can look into it.
Okay. Anything else for the engineer? Bill Laurie?
Nope.
All right. That brings us to item 10, the director's report. Patrick.
So first of all, I'll say a big thank you to the board and to the Public Works Committee. We received our painting equipment and our valve turning equipment and the new lawnmower. So we'll put all that stuff to use. So I really appreciate that, and just wanted to say that. So and then we did build. Actually, Joe did. Put a couple tanks on a skid, and we put a pump on it so that it's got a flushing tool on it, so we can flush out the valve boxes because we'll be starting to operate valves this year. So that's going to help out a lot because you get raw grit and stuff that falls in there, and then you can't get on the valves to turn them and whatnot. So we'll be able to flush them out, and it'll be fast. We won't have to wait on anybody else. We can do it ourselves. And I also want to say that, or tell you guys that the GIS system is moving along pretty quickly. James had called me, and I haven't gotten there to look at it yet, but there's one map that's kind of done, and we can play around with a little bit, but hopefully I'll get to that in the next few days. But I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update on that, let you know where we were at.
Awesome.
How far along did you say you are on that?
On what?
The GIS, is it all loaded?
No, it's not all loaded. We have one map.
One map, and it's
Yeah.
a map of North Hudson.
I'm not even sure yet what it is because I haven't gotten there
Okay.
to look at it yet. I just
One-
found out about it.
Okay. So Kevin.
Well, he wouldn't know.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it yet myself. James has been tasked to take that on. But, you know,
Okay, timing. Go ahead.
yeah, I'm thinking it shouldn't be that much longer before everything's finalized so that Patrick can start working with everything. We do have, you know, the GPS unit is, I mean, we have that in hand just because of, you know, the situation we're in. Been kind of delayed before we could get up there and show them how to use it. But I think, in June we're planning on coming up there and, show him how it works so he can start, collecting some of his data that he wants to, like with manholes and gate valves, hydrants, and all those things.
Are you going to have like a good priority list for what we go after first, or is it just really up to Patrick and what he wants in there first?
Pretty much whatever Patrick wants.
Okay.
Nice.
What was that, Phil?
Nothing. Whatever Patrick wants, Patrick gets.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go. Let's not get started. All right.
I'm kidding, Patrick.
I know.
Anything else, Patrick?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. That takes us to item 11, Public Works Capital and Equipment Planning discussion only. And Patrick did send out a sheet to let us know how that looks, what we had budgeted for this was all budgeted for 2020, right? Or the red's what was budgeted for 2020, is that correct?
The red is the stuff that we got, yep.
And none of the rest of this is budgeted in 2020, right?
Well, the maintenance of the generator, I will budget for that. I put it on there just if anybody had any discussion. That's the maintenance that we got to do every year, and we will continue to do that. And then I don't have a dollar amount yet. I'm still working on how we're going to do that for cleaning out the sanitary sewer wet wells and to remove and inspect the sanitary sewer pumps. I'm working on that to put together a plan so that we can do that. We should be doing that each year too, just because we bought new pumps, and we should be checking them out every year and making sure if they need anything or whatever that they're getting taken care of and looked after, and hopefully
Good.
they'll last another 28 years.
And you'll have are you going to eventually have like a maintenance schedule where you're doing a check off that we did this year, we did this year?
I believe I'll probably just incorporate all that stuff into our GIS system. It'd probably be the best way to do that.
Yeah, of course. Great.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be one of our handier tools.
Okay, so are you saying it does say 2021 now on top? So you're saying the rest of these things we can start looking at when we go to budget time in around August, September?
Yeah, it was just a few things that I threw on there, things that we could look at, and if you want to add anything, take anything away, give me your thoughts, or whatever you want. I wanted to get this going early this year, so it didn't seem like I was throwing a big list at someone or anything like that.
I'm wondering if you could maybe, all right, so obviously the red items you can take off of this list, and then we can start adding. I think obviously the fence, because it's not a budgeted item for this year, we might want to just throw it on here. I mean, it might be something, because at the end of the year, you know how the end of the year works.
Yep.
If there's a possibility we can squeeze something like that in on the end of the year, even though it wasn't budgeted. But if we got it on a list,
Sure.
Anybody else with any other items that you can think of? Can't hear you, Phil. Phil, you're muted. There you go.
What? Is there anything we should be thinking about with the 35 project that we're going to need, not thinking of? I don't know. They're going to have a lot of our village tore up.
Yeah, so I guess that's probably something maybe me and Kevin should talk about, or I should talk with. I don't know if there's really anybody I could talk with about it, except
New
maybe
light
some other
poles,
communities.
or
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even just clean up, like afterwards, do they take care of that? Like all the debris and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we need some new shrubberies. I don't know.
No shrubs.
Are we getting any trees out of this deal, or they taking any? Yeah.
Yeah, there's some landscaping that's included. tree
Okay.
replacements.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I know what you mean, Phil, but it's gonna look like a war zone out there for a while.
I mean, should we budget some concrete work for some sidewalks that tore up and are refusing to replace?
I wish we could talk to another village that has gone through something similar and say, what do you wish you would have known before?
I'll
Kevin?
reach out to a few places maybe and see.
yeah.
Like, because they might
okay.
be like, man, we should have thought of this, before.
Sure.
You
Sure.
could give us some advice, maybe.
Mhm.
Yep, good idea.
And Kevin, you've done these projects before, right?
Yeah, we've done a number of them. I mean, reconstructs. I mean, they're definitely not the popular item things. The construction that's going to be along with this, but the outcome is going to be something that's definitely been a need for quite some time. So,
Is there any signage or anything like that that can help the village and redirects, or I don't know. I'm just
And
I would
maybe
think they'd have to provide all the signage.
yeah, I'm
will
not,
it be,
I would assume. Am I right, Kevin?
I'm not sure if they're planning on doing like replacements on speed limit signs, crossing signs, all that. I'd have to look at the construction.
They are. I got an email. They're going to be
Okay.
putting up all new signs,
Okay.
and they asked what we wanted for posts, so they will be replacing them all.
Okay.
it would be nice to do a little video conference with another one of these communities that went through this, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let us ask them. Let Phil and Lori go at them with those same questions.
Right.
I-
What do you wish you would have known?
Right. So maybe if you can swing something like that for next Public Works meeting, if you've got a couple people that would be willing to volunteer their wisdom, we'll have them hop on at a certain portion of the meeting, and we'll ask what we can. We'll learn what we can from them. How's that?
Sure. Sounds good.
Okay. Anything else on Public Works capital and equipment planning? It's good that we're thinking about it early. Keep thinking about it.
Mhm. Is there any questions on any of the stuff that I have on there?
I was
Any
wondering,
concerns?
this is not a big item, but the
Yeah.
metal detector on there, because we purchased one, right, this year?
Yeah, it's got red on it, so we have those.
Okay, the copy I have doesn't have it in red. I apologize.
Oh,
It's
I'm
all black and
sorry.
white. Yep, no,
Is
that's
it
okay.
just mine?
Yours
Mine
says
does.
neither, Phil? Okay, yeah, because I couldn't see that. Okay, thank you.
I apologize.
So Patrick, maybe just a short blurb after you redo this. Take the red lines out and redo this. Maybe a short
Yep.
blurb after each one on why it's important.
Sure.
That'll help us.
Yep.
All right. If there's nothing else on that one, item 12, Public Works Committee future goals and agenda items. Anyone with future agenda items or goals?
Make all streets safe and passable.
Yeah, this project that's looming is my big ticket item. How can we make it as painless as it might be able to be? So, yeah.
So, do you know, Kevin, about when they'll start? Do they have to wait for a certain frost level to leave the ground, or what do they do?
A project of this size, it's probably going to be in like March, April, no later than April, a start date. It's going to be somewhat dependent on the weather, obviously, with the winter, but they're going to have to hit it hard fast because there's a lot of work that's involved with this project.
And Kevin, can you remind me the projection for how long it's supposed to take?
It's going to take till October. So, 6 months worth of construction, just to have everything completed, to a point where the restoration is going in.
Do you really think they're going to get to the restoration in that calendar year?
Well, typically with the DOT project, there's quite substantial liquidated damages with these projects. So, it might have to be dormant seed, and then actually the grass will get, established the following spring. But I can definitely see the restoration being done, but you probably won't necessarily see any of the grass coming up.
Okay, but trees will be in, and
Yep.
signs will be all up, and
Signs, all
Yep.
that stuff. Pavement markings, all that will be installed.
well, hopefully let me see here. So Lori, you're up next year, aren't you?
In April.
Let me just look at when April. That'll be April 6th next year.
Make sure everybody votes for Lori.
Lori's probably hoping they don't start till after April
Can't
6th.
leave us.
It better before it
All
gets
right.
started.
Okay, anything else on future goals and agenda items? If not, we're at item 13, which is adjourn, and we are adjourned at 6:01. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. See you guys.